First four. If you need a refresher course, you have two 11s playing each other. Well, 11 seeds in two different games, so actually four 11s. You have UCLA taking on Michigan State. Sparty a 1-point favorite. Winner will play the 6 seed BYU. Then you have Drake against Wichita State. Almost went like big conference and then like mid-major. And the winner will face USC, who's a 6 seed. Then you have your 16 seeds, kind of like your last four in. Norfolk State against Appalachian State. App State given 2.5. And Mount St. Mary's against Texas Southern. SWAC champ Texas Southern given 1.5. And the winner there plays Michigan. All right, let's bring the band back together. Larry Hartstein from Sportsline, Kenny White, Wizard of Odds, Timmy Doyle there, our All-American. And let's start UCLA, Michigan State. Sparty a 1-point favorite, 137.5 is the total. Larry, what do you want to do here?
I just don't think Michigan State is that good. I mean, they had a great run to get themselves into the tournament, but I just think they're very limited. They looked worn down at the end of the season. UCLA also ended slumping, in a big slump, but I just think there's more talent there. I'm going to take the Bruins.
I'm fading the Pac-12, and I love the Big Ten Conference. I made Wisconsin 5.5 in this game. Or no, Wisconsin. I love Wisconsin, but I love Michigan State as well. I think Tom Izzo's team. It's just they played such a great schedule, and I think these teams now back to the wall. I'm going to side with Izzo and his club here. I think they're the better basketball team.
Yeah, I almost have to pick Tom Izzo, right? I played in the Big Ten. Obviously, you see the sign, you see the hair there. But my last game at the United Center was against Michigan State. And Eric, Tom Izzo grabbed me after the game. Said, Doyle, you know what I like about you? You maximized your ability. You couldn't have gotten any better. The reality was I was just okay. But we lost that game at the United Center. But I'll tell you this. We did cover. Here's the deal with Michigan State. They called the same plays. They go like this. They go like this. At Northwestern, we were smart guys. We knew the plays. They just had better players, so they were able to, score anyway because we couldn't stop them from crying out loud. I think that UCLA could match the athleticism. This is another of those games, flip a coin. I'll side with the conference, but I do not have a strong opinion here.
All right, the other 11-on-11 game, Drake taking on the Shockers of Wichita State. Wichita State given 2 in this one, 139.5. Larry, back to you.
Yeah, Drake went 20-6 against the spread. They lost their point guard. They lost their leading scorer. But the reports are that Hemphill, the leading scorer, may be back, and I need to wait and see on that. If he's back, I love Drake in this spot. Wichita State had a great year, won a lot of close games. They're really not elite in anything, but they did win a lot of close games. I mean, give them credit, but I'll take Drake, especially if Hemphill comes back.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a difference for this Drake team if Hemphill does come back. I thought Drake getting in was a catastrophe here. If Louisville played Drake tomorrow without Hemphill and without their point guard Penn or Roman Penn, I would make Louisville 14 over Drake. Drake got in because they did have a great season. They lost 2 players. They deserve to be in because of their record. But if they don't have Hemphill and Drake, Wichita State wins this game by double digits.
Yeah, I've called a bunch of Drake games this year, and I actually had Drake as a Final Four team with Roman Penn, the most efficient player in the Valley, and with Tank Hemphill, who's arguably the most athletic player in the Valley. So since I had him in the Final Four, I'm going to pick them in this spot because the reality is Darren DeVries, the head coach of Drake, he's been practicing without these guys. So guys start assuming new roles. I thought they were competitive against Loyola Chicago in the Missouri Valley Conference Championship, even though they really never had a chance to win. They were competitive in that game. I just love their basketball IQ, and I think that DeVries is going to be a big-time coach one day. So I'm going to trust more in Drake, even though Wichita State is probably the more talented team.
Okay, now let's get to the 16s, right? The good news is somebody's winning an NCAA tournament game. The bad news is one of these two teams has to go play Gonzaga. Norfolk State against App State. App State's favored by 2.5. 136 is your total here. All right, Larry, how do we forecast the little guys?
App State is very well coached, and I was so impressed by what they did in their conference tournament. They won 4 straight days, and they didn't have any bench at all. I think they're going to be healthier for the tournament. They really only had 5 guys in the last 2 games. They're getting a key guy back. I'm going to lay the points with App State.
Yeah, I was looking to go under in this. This total kind of plummeted, went from 140 down to 136. App State likes to play a slow, methodical offense. Norfolk State also a team that doesn't play fast. I think the number is right. App State, I made 4 and 137. So I lean to App State in this game, but I really wouldn't want to lay 2.5.
Yeah, I'm going to take the dog in this spot just because at Appalachian State, their previous head coach was my high school assistant coach, Jim Fox. They fired him. So this is personal, okay, Eric? But I really don't know how to say Norfolk State. Is it Norfolk? How would you say it?
I'd say the team that's playing App State and getting 2.5, who you like, and you're taking those points. There you go. I think it's Norfolk. I go Norfolk. I go Norfolk.
I go Norfolk?
I go Norfolk.
That's right.
I have no idea if I'm right. I go Norfolk. I do go Louisville, though. You got to say, I had a law school roommate from there. He says, say it like you got marbles in your mouth. Louisville. There you go. And I don't say New Orleans. There's not like extra syllables there.
But if you're in New York, you call Illinois. Illinois.
No, it's not Illinois. I'm not having any of that. And it's not Houston. There's an H there. All my friends from New York, Houston. Like the H didn't exist. Anyway, Mount St. Mary's, they exist. They're going to be taking on Texas Southern. SWAC champs. It's just like saying the conference name, the SWAC. Texas Southern has SWAC. They also have they're also favored by 1.5. 134. The hammer's out. But first, Larry, you're up.
Well, what Texas Southern did to Prairie View, I mean, it really caught my eye. Prairie View was dominant in that conference most of the season. Texas Southern won their last 9 games, averaged over 80 points in their last 5, and destroyed Prairie View by 19 in the conference final. I was on Mount St. Mary's when they upset Bryant. They're a good team. They play slow. I think Texas Southern more talented. They're going to speed it up and cover this spread.
Well, the average Northeast team is 8 points better than the average SWAC team. So Mount St. Mary's going to control the pace here. They play slow, methodical. Texas Southern just wants to get up and down. They're just scattered. They go crazy as fast as they can. They don't play very good defense either. Mount St. Mary's has a far better defensive club. I'm going to take 2 with a team who played a far better schedule with the better defense, who will control the pace, and they're used to playing this type of basketball.
Yeah, this is hammer time. Mount St. Mary's bet it now, bet it on the money line. They went to Bryant, and I know a lot about Bryant basketball. Why? Because Jarek Rosso, their head coach, and I were on the same Hoop It Up team for 4 summers when we were kids. So I followed their team very closely, and they were 6.5 point favorite over Mount St. Mary's. And honestly, we were texting after the game. They could have played that game 20 times, and I think they would have beaten Mount St. Mary's maybe twice. I was really impressed with Mount St. Mary's. There was a physicality. They have athletes. Their little guard is 5'8". He's dynamic. He's lefty. They went to Bryant. Bryant had not lost a home game all season long, and they kind of dominated them. I was blown away with their talent, their ability, their playmaking, their basketball IQ. Hammer time, Eric, because the more you bet, the more you win.
Mount St. Mary's. Not St. Mary's. Mount St. Mary's. Learn it, live it, know it. So those are your first 4 slate. You see there, value with Mount St. Mary's and maybe some value with Appalachian State. If you listen to our experts there, UCLA, Michigan State going to be a tough game to forecast. A lot of shoulder shrugging. I guess I'll take Sparty in that one.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.